He's Marvel.
Welcome back, YouTube. Welcome back. I'm going to get us started back on Facebook here.
What was I going to say?
And
Scotty saw this picture and said, "Oh, I know who that is. It's Commander Fancy Pants."
we can show it to the chat, and maybe they can tell us who it is.
I already put it in Discord.
They're going to say and be like, oh, I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, that's how it is.
Okay. Does anybody know?
Anybody know who this character is right here? Please tell us in the chat. We found this action figure in with a bunch of Logan stuff. Ooh, White Vision. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the thing that in the comics that hurt Wanda was that Vision had no memories of them too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to see if I can find that comic panel I'm talking about. Is this the one?
Okay, so we're going to get things started here and then give our review. We just finished episode 8. Thank you to everyone who watched in the watch party with us over on Twitch. And now welcome back to everyone who is
Coming back to YouTube.
who's coming back on YouTube and Facebook. All right, so we're all saved now. And so now it is time to have our discussion about this episode. What's that?
Yeah, from this comic frame when Vision came back, and as the twins saw, and as he says in this panel right here,
We're talking about White Vision real
he
quick.
says, recently my original body and my original operating system were destroyed. What you see before you is a new body, a new mind, a new vision. As such, though I contain the mechanical parts and the memories associated with your father, I am no longer your father. You are not my children. Your mother is not my wife. And he says...
So that's going to kind of kill her again.
Yep. So pretty much it's Vision, but with all different words.
The
And
anti-vision.
you realize after every episode what they want you to watch.
Age of Ultron.
At the end of every episode, they want you to watch that.
Interesting. Okay, well, so is the idea then maybe eventually she will he'll be back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is she gonna have to pull like a? I gotta bring the memories back.
Well, you'll have all the memories, and if they follow the comics, you'll have all the memories and all the same powers. But that's if they follow the comics.
Yeah.
Huh. Would he stay white? Or would he go back to purple?
I think he'd stay white.
He stays white?
I think.
Okay, well let's talk about the episode.
That's just for that story. Now in the comics, he's back to the normal colors.
Nicotina's mom up in here saying that we got a beautiful family. Well, thank you, Nicotina's mom. Appreciate that, Nicotina's mom. I love my family very much. I love you too, but I love my family very well. Okay. There's a theory that the secret actor Paul Bettany was talking about is himself. That would be cool to see the Wanda version of Vision.
The Wandavision.
Interacting, the Wandavision. What if that's been the whole secret thing the whole time? That's why they call it Wandavision. Because the Wandavision has to go up against White Vision.
Anti-vision.
Tiffany, what did you think of this episode?
I thought it was actually very interesting. It
was not. Isaac, no.
I have a finger to show. Seriously. No, I thought it was actually really good because you got to see really how crazy Agatha is. And, going back, she's got crazy going back to the 1600s. So she's been doing this for a while and found another witch that's more powerful or just as powerful as her. And she needs to know how she did it. So taking her back through, in the movie, yes, we heard these stories, but it's also like filling in some of these holes from the movies.
Yes.
This was how she lost her parents. This is, when she was working with Hydra and this, all this other stuff. So it kind of fills in the gaps, which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like the last 5-10 minutes was like, okay, now here we are. We're caught up since the movie. This is what's going on. Vision in Wandavision isn't like, we obviously know it's not real, but
Yeah.
she didn't even use his body, so now that body's being used for White Vision, and not
Or at least
we've
that's what we
got
think.
yeah, and now we only have one more episode to explain this.
Yeah.
It was a roller coaster. of
Hello,
emotions.
the Richard. Aloha to you as well. Yes, we just finished watching the episode, and now we are giving our rundown of what we thought the episode was.
Before you go and nerd out with Dawson.
Before I go
about
on
Superman
Dawson's
stuff.
stream, and we talk about the condition of Superman after today's announcement that there will be a new Superman movie and possibly a new Superman actor. We'll see. Did you have anything else to add on that front?
I'm interested to see how Paul Bettany, because I've loved him as Vision. I love his. I don't want to call it naivete. But I mean, it's like the fact that just in that scene that you saw where they were watching TV, sitting on the bed, it shows how he's just so much smarter on that higher level because he is AI, but yet he tries to be human-like, like with her, like he's laughing at a sitcom.
Yep.
And then he's like looking at her and like with love, and but yet he's AI. It's weird.
He was made to learn
Yeah.
Stark. And then when he became the human form, now he has to learn more than just Tony
Life.
Stark. He has to learn everybody. And Wanda was first that first one after Stark that he started to learn about.
Mm-hmm. So I think it's going to be interesting to see our version of Vision, and to see. I mean, I think he's got the acting chops. I love him in everything he does, but it's going to be interesting to see how he portrays the no like emotion, the just.
Like I have all the memories, but that was me.
That's gonna. It's like I feel like it's gonna hurt me watching it, let alone Wanda. So it's gonna be a little bit of heart-wrenching episode. It seems next week.
Interesting. Isaac, your thoughts on this episode?
This occurs the same things that you said, but one thing that I do like that I kind of mentioned last week is if Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange are going to be the two main people of the next phase of Marvel, they're going to have to go deeper into magic rather than just, oh yeah, our powers are magic. They have to show, what does that mean?
Maybe this is going to open it up.
Yeah. More than just, okay, you do stuff with your hands and you can do all these different things. Why is that important? And they kind of showed that in this episode. Is Agatha was like, oh yeah, don't you know that whoever casts these runes are the only one that can use their powers in it? Which Wanda didn't even know. Maybe
that's going to play into the next Doctor Strange movie where...
Or that's how she defeats Agatha, is doing one of those.
What do you think, though, when they showed the flashback when Agatha made her go to Hydra, and she had that stone in front of her, and then all of a sudden it's like the stone like opened, and then she saw like coming out of it was like her vision of what Scarlet Witch should be.
Well, it's because it's the Mind Stone.
So do you think she's going to go full witch and like turn into like the comic version
Yeah,
by the time the next movie hits?
Yeah, they kind of hinted that when they announced Doctor Strange too. That
so they
sorry you didn't like it, Brian?
So they played around with it, with her being that for Halloween. Okay.
Oops. What's up, 10 Doggy 10? This is hey guy, back at you. Hope you're all having a good day. We are.
That's your buddy guy. No.
That's your guy, buddy. Richard says, I expect next week to be epic and sad.
Yeah.
Perhaps end like the last page of a comic when all kinds of chaos and tons of new characters rushing forward, rushing towards what, like the scene in Civil War, to be continued. So for me, I liked it. Man, that open there. Okay, so we've talked before about there being like there. You know how there was this rumor that there was a 10-minute scene. There was a 10-minute scene in The Rise of Skywalker that was supposed to be shown that had Luke, Han, and Leia or something like, or there. Oh no, I'm sorry. For The Force Awakens, that there was a 10-minute scene that supposedly had Luke, Han, and Leia. It was 10 minutes long, and we were kind of joking about that a couple of weeks ago, saying 10 minutes is an eternity for a scene. The opening scene of this episode was way too long, to be just dialogue and.
They had to explain that she'd been a witch since 16.
No, I get that, but wow, it took a long time to get to the point, and there was no cutaway. You know what I mean? Like, there should have been like some kind of breakup for it. You know, like break away,
like move to somebody else.
Yeah, move somewhere else and then come back. Move somewhere else, then come back to kind of break up that monotony. I loved all the stuff that was in it.
Yeah.
right? You know, I mean, I loved all of the information that we were getting, but man, was that scene not well thought out. I didn't think, because I felt like it was way too long and it was never ending. But I loved all the information was in it. I liked the flashbacks. I like getting to see her as a child, and we get explanation of why she created it the way that she did.
And you can see like the different when she did create this world in Westview, because that's where she was supposed to have a life with him.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes sense now. It's not like just this like made up city, or town.
Yeah.
She was supposed to have a life and a house and build a life there with him.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense that that's where she would start and create this world. But I think it's interesting though that Agatha said, man, she could feel what she had created.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so other people agree with me. Yeah, I mean the opening was a bit long, but I still like it. Oh yeah, me too. I absolutely still like it.
Also, that last memory is not 100% accurate.
Yeah.
Because that's why I think I'm
still. Well, obviously she didn't steal the body.
Yeah.
That's
why I think Agatha fabricated the memory.
So then why is it in the second or third episode when she looked back and she went, because she saw the dead version of him?
Episode.
Was that because that was the last time she had seen?
She see him, yeah.
So that was like her like losing it for a second. Like,
mm-hmm.
I'm not keeping up appearances of what I want him to look like versus what he looks like now.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. I love the flashbacks. Like I said, I loved seeing her throughout these different times and what led her up to.
And they showed when she talked about in Age of Ultron how her and Pietro were laying under a bed for 2 days waiting for the bomb to go off, and it never did.
Mm-hmm.
That makes more
It
sense.
said Stark on it.
It's because she did it.
She put a hex on it, so it wouldn't.
I put a spell on you.
No, you don't even like Hocus Pocus.
'Cause you're mine. All right. Barcy says, I really doubt Mephisto is going to be in this, which is going to be funny if Mephisto doesn't even play into this at all, because everybody has been assuming Mephisto was. What's up, Tim? Good to see you, buddy. Man, good episode. Really liked it. A little slow at times, but a lot of good information, a lot of good plot forward movement. And it was just, it was nice to see like how things came to be. This episode, I think a lot of people will probably have negative things to say about it. Well, we've already seen people have negative things to say that they didn't like this episode, they didn't appreciate this episode. Yet, if this episode had happened like second, mm-hmm. right, after everybody was like, "What's going on? Why is she doing this? Why did she do this? Why did she create this thing? How did she create this thing? Is Vision really Vision?" If after the first episode and everybody had their questions, you would have had this episode, everybody would have gone, "Oh, cool, that was an awesome episode." That's how I kind of feel that would have played out. But because they had to wait for it, and then they got it, it was like, oh, well, now they've had theories, right?
And the theories aren't coming true.
And the theories aren't true. So again, I always say, we have to sit back and be told the story instead of assuming the story and getting mad when the story's not.
And it's interesting to show that when she started, it was Bewitched and Dick Van Dyke and stuff like that, which shows you. And then, when she was...
Some of those shows that we got over the last couple
years
that she was trying to imitate.
When she was at Hydra, she was watching The Brady Bunch, which we saw in the 70s. And then all of a sudden, it's like you saw her watching Malcolm in the Middle, which we saw in the 90s. And so it shows where her show style came from as she moved forward in time.
Absolutely.
That was cool.
Absolutely.
Because it always showed what she was watching on TV in all of those flashbacks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, Tim says I got to rewatch the episode again. What's up, Luke? Good to see you, Luke. Richard says, so they never left the basement. There was never a reason to show Monica or Pietro. Okay.
Look for next week.
Yeah, Richie, I'm with you.
Heart broke for Wanda.
I did love the episode, and I did feel for Wanda for sure. There was definitely something to say about that. Of oops, let's make sure that's paused. Of being concerned for Wanda and seeing Wanda's heartbreak and why she created the thing that she did,
And
kinda
then they're
blocked
going to
everything up.
use the white vision against her, which doesn't know her at all. It's just going to be continual heartbreak.
Yeah. You're right, 187. People do. They watch way too many theory videos on YouTube. Look, the curiosity gets the best of people, and they want to understand things better. And so they start to understand something better, but then they get ticked off when it's not the way that they think it should be, or somebody else
They
told
went
them it
down the
should
wrong
be.
rabbit hole.
Like nobody theorized white vision.
Mm-mm.
Episode 1, or even last week, nobody theorized, we're going to get white vision by the end of this.
But then right before you showed up, you called it. It was
Yeah.
like, I see where they're going.
Because like, wait, if he still has the body, what could he do with it? And I was like, wait, all they needed was one last thing to boot him up.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to get Vision versus Vision. Vision on Vision. Supervision.
Well, that's
That
the thing.
sounds
We don't know.
dirty.
We don't know if she took the body or not. So, is that Vision the original corpse? Or if they're going to follow the comics, it should be.
Yeah.
Which means that there's not actually a Vision in the Hex.
So that vision can't come out like we thought.
That's why he started getting pulled back in.
But then,
He
like,
stepped out.
why? So here's a good question. Like, if that was just created out of her own imaginations and things like that, then why did he have separate thinking apart from her? Why was it he was able to break free from that and then also be able to bring people out of her trance? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because if she created all that and she did that to everything, that was all under her control. Why would
as AI as he is?
Yeah, why would her like if he is her creation,
Her vision
why
of
would
vision?
he be able to think independently from her and then also be able to bring people out of it and actually want to get out of the hex?
Smart thinking.
Yes. There's a first close thing I could probably think of too. That was probably when Agatha created Pietro in the Hex.
True. She said that I used him as my eyes and ears. So
Thank you, Luke. We are so glad to have you here, Luke.
But you called it though too that because his body was in a different country. That's why she had to use that Pietro.
We're going through a little bit of a different thing. Our everything kind of looks a little bit different right now. Just so you know, Luke, because we if you haven't been here before, just because my laptop melted down this week, and so we're waiting to get our new technology here so that we're back to our normal state.
So we're going old school like we did in the beginning. So we appreciate you guys sticking with us as we
Absolutely.
make it through this.
When we first started, the
technical.
Poindexter Lounge originally just started with a phone. We just
in the backyard, we
just set
used
up
to
the
use
phone.
remember when you used to use a selfie stick and you'd spin and like do stuff in the backyard and
Yep, that's how we started. So we've come a long way, baby, but we know how to make it work old school too. So
Kevin Lang has a good idea. Says the reason Vision has free will is represents that part of Wanda that knows she is wrong, the part that wants to free everyone from her control. He's basically her guilt manifested.
oh,
That's very smart too.
that is that
And
is
we told
interesting.
us Civil War, what is grief without love? Persevering. That's what Vision told her. And that's one thing.
Brian Scully here.
Did you hear that?
What's that?
So one thing that also stuck with her that Vision said is, what is grief without love? Persevering.
Vision told her that.
In Civil War.
Brian Scully said, I had no theories, no preconceptions, didn't read the comics, knew nothing, but I could have assumed much of everything and admittedly don't really care about Wanda. Yeah, I mean, look, everybody's going to get something different out of everything.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be honest with you. I didn't go into this like with some great love for Wanda and Vision.
I liked
But
it,
I've
I
really
liked them
enjoyed
more.
this. I've really enjoyed this more. I've really enjoyed getting to know her story a little bit more and understanding, you know, what her motivation is. So,
I liked them before this. I love them now because of this. And I'm looking forward to how they're going to take them out of this into the next movie.
Also, one thing is, even when Vision's body was laying over the table, she's like, I can't feel you.
Yeah.
Just because the Mind Stone wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
We can't get it back because Thanos destroyed it.
this is why I doubt Mephisto. It feels like the show is going against everyone's theories to surprise us, but instead people get disappointed. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, Barcy, it's the same thing with Star Wars. It's the same thing with like a lot of these properties. People, they have these theories, and then all of a sudden those theories become fact. look at today, for example. This idea of what's his name, Michael B. Jordan as Superman.
They said that
it's
last year,
not
too.
actually been reported that Michael B. Jordan is Superman, but literally one place theorized about it, and now all of a sudden everybody's reporting it as fact. And nothing from Warner Brothers has even suggested that. Literally, Warner Brothers just put out the thing, hey, we're making a new Superman movie. J.J. Abrams is directing, and the one guy is writing it. And so everybody's assuming right now. And that's the problem, is people start assuming everything, and then it doesn't happen, and then they're like freaked out about it.
I don't know if you say his name.
I'm trying to get down to it.
Des Limy says, awesome Superman hat, sir.
Well, thank you. I love this hat. I got this hat for $5. It was a $30 hat. Brand new, still had the thing on and everything. And it actually had the price tag underneath here. And I got it. It's kind of almost a canvas style. And it's got this metal Superman symbol on it. And the funny thing was I got it on eBay for like $5. And the thing, they had a picture of it. It looked like I thought there was a nick on it. And I thought that what I was going to do was I was going to like sandpaper it and make it kind of look rustic looking, you know. But then I got it, and it literally just had a little mark, and I rubbed it right off. And it was fine.
It's like...
Yeah, it's metal. And so it's perfectly fine. Like, there's nothing wrong. I put it up in the sun, and it's beautiful, and there's not a scratch on it.
Super cool.
It's super cool. There's not a scratch on this thing. It's a thing of beauty. So, for sure. I can't wait to see her. I can't wait. Richie says, I can't wait to see her in her Scarlet Witch attire. Absolutely. Yes. Thank you, Richie. Luke, it's an awesome channel, bro. Enosh is a super cool dude. Super good dude. Thank you. Appreciate that so much. I appreciate the reference. Thank you so much, Richie. 10 Doggy 10 says, I'm with you, Enosh. If she didn't take Vision and he is just made up in her mind, how could Vision touch people and break them from Wanda's spell? It's going to be interesting to see how they answer that. I feel nothing of consequence really happened in it. Agatha is old. Vision's actual body is coming back online. Everything in between did nothing for the plot. I don't know. For me, it did. For me, it answered the questions that had been asked since the beginning of the season. That's what it did. That's what it did for me. It answered the questions of what had come throughout the week. Hold on a second, guys.
You've got to check out what Daniel on Playlist said.
Okay, so
and Isaac are intrigued.
Okay, so Daniel and Playlist says for Vision to leave the X
or
Hex, he's going to have to merge White Vision. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking was going to happen. They'll merge together. He'll have the
white look.
Maybe the
with
white,
his memories.
Maybe the white look with his memories.
Maybe it'll be like the pink version of him in white, and just like when you put it in the wash and it turns pink, he'll be pink.
I say, or for the whole episode, it's kind of a thing of, oh yeah, I have all Vision's memories, but I'm not him, and we get that, and the real Vision's in the Hex, or Wanda's Vision is in the Hex, and before the Hex pretty much disappears, he merges with that Vision.
The question is
when
Wanda sees that he's white, will she still love him?
Oh. Once you go pink, you never.
Yeah, once you go purple. Once you go purple,
technically it's.
There's nothing.
Fuchsia.
There's not much that rhymes with purple.
Once you go fuchsia, that's what he kind of.
Once you go fuchsia, you don't. I don't know. Bart says I can see the merging for sure. I'm trying to catch up with what everybody's saying.
I think it's going to be.
Is Vision and the white the same, or are they separate? They're separate. They're separate. I totally think they will combine the bodiless Vision with White Vision. Kelvin says it's abundantly clear now there will be no Mephisto, and all those people's theories were wrong, and it turned out to be a more personal story. Whole I appreciate and enjoy is a letdown for sure.
We shall see next week.
You say that, or like I'm saying, the last memory is fabricated.
Ooh, the Richard said instead of killing the White Vision, as she gets close to it, she pulls them together.
Oh, you know what? She may. That'd be interesting.
Take my Vision into the Vision that should be his body and make my Vision again, or at least a version of it. So that way, two of her kids are able to come out.
All right, we're still here. Sorry, guys. If something happens, just stick with us. Don't go anywhere because we're still here. But Around These Dooms says, Enosh, I have an idea for a Flash movie that doesn't involve the multiverse, and I want to make it someday. That'd be awesome.
Richard says don't think
Make
kids
movies?
are coming out.
To make movies, I would love to hear about that.
Do it.
Richard doesn't think the kids are coming out, but they become Wiccan and Speed in the comics.
Yeah. Okay, hold on a second. Last couple of these. Brian Scully says, it's enjoyable overall, but I think it leads the audience by the nose a bit much. Can't see myself rewatching it. I think there's a lot of things like that nowadays. That, like, once you watch it, like, you don't really revisit it, especially if the story continues and if it keeps flowing in one direction. You know, if you got other series or other shows or other movies, a lot of times it takes a while to kind of go back and revisit, especially a series.
Let's say for me, halfway through the episode, I was like, since we have 7 days left until the finale, and there's 7 episodes or 8 episodes so far, I'm like, I'm probably gonna watch 1 episode a day, so that way I'm refreshed by next week.
Yeah.
I was literally thinking that halfway through the episode.
10Doggy10 says this episode definitely fleshed Wanda's story out a lot, right from the death of her parents and the Stark bomb to the present. Yeah, I enjoyed that too, 10Doggy10. That's actually what I really enjoyed about it. Answered a lot of questions.
Her parents were super cute though too, and she lost him at such a young age.
Yeah. BizPhone says too many things to wrap up in one more episode. We shall see. We shall see what they do. Maybe the point is not to wrap them up.
They'll take it into the next movie.
Yeah, maybe the point is to not wrap them up, but set up maybe for
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Which we get on Christmas.
Yeah, the Richard says that he doesn't think the kids are coming out. Brian Scully says, can totally understand, though, why big MCU fans would love it. Bart says, I thought that was my internet. Yeah, well, we're working with Wi-Fi now and trying to do this. So
one thing that I'm wondering then is if I was thinking that the kids aren't coming out, why was Agatha pretty much holding them at the end?
That's what I was
just holding them throughout the episode.
You're in my brain.
Yeah,
it's like if they can't come out.
Yeah, if they don't matter, if they're just creations, then why would she even care?
Yeah,
why would she even hold
why she use that as like a focal point to
because
use
if she's
Wanda.
that powerful of a witch and you just made 2 children, what can they do? That's
Yeah.
probably what she's
like
thinking.
in the comics, the 2 children are the 2 halves of Mephisto. Like in the comics.
There you go.
Well, yeah. I mean, if these babies were made in that dark magic within that world,
Well,
one of the kids is called Wiccan.
all I know
Just
is
saying.
that Wanda seemed very full of rage. Very full of rage. Very full of rage. As long as we keep her away from the cocaine, we should be fine. Because we
You're
don't.
saying if you lost me, you wouldn't like try to bring me back in a Nashi vision?
Well, I would try to bring you back, but I would try not to take a bunch of cocaine and get in a.
I'm in a coke field rage.
So also this episode, besides the flashback to Civil War, we didn't get Vision at all in this episode.
Yeah. I mean, we got a little bit of Vision. I mean, Vision was there, you know.
Yeah, I'm saying we still got Billy and Tommy. We still got. I know we get Monica.
Yeah. So a couple left, and then we're gonna move on here. Let's see here. Hold on a second. The Richard says Agatha also said something. Then Wanda asked, "Where are my kids?" Agatha said something like, "Were you kids?" I didn't pick up on that, the Richard. I might have to go back and look. Richie says Wanda versus Agatha and Vision versus Vision on the undercard. LOL. Let's get ready to rumble in this corner. Wanda.
One thing that'll be cool to see is what would happen to White Vision if he steps in the hex.
Oh, yeah. The Richard says it was a cliff ending, but also she may be still trying to feed on Wanda's rage. That's a good point. And then, you know what? This is what I love. Everybody has a different take on this. So there's people who were not impressed or were underwhelmed. And then there's people who are totally into this, and they obviously they you know, they're totally in. It says, oh my God, WandaVision episode 8, my gosh, darn amazing. Agatha said chaos magic. Chaos magic is in the MCU. They're not even paying attention. They're not even paying attention.
No, I read it because I agree with that.
Yeah. Oh my God, man. WandaVision episode 8 was gosh darn amazing.
And
Agatha
that's
said
what I was
chaos
saying.
magic. Chaos magic is in the MCU.
Chaos magic, that's what that is. And Isaac and I were laughing, saying, do you know who, Isaac said, you know who has chaos magic?
Where's a part of it?
Okay,
Like
well,
I said, I'm not expecting to see him. It would be cool. But
If
I
not,
definitely
they're
have
making a
feeling-
lot of tie-ins
No.
to him.
around these dooms, look, I'm a big M. Night Shyamalan fan.
If you don't get him, like I said, you just get him in Doctor Strange too.
There you go.
I'm a big M. Night Shyamalan fan. So
Shyamalan
Shyamalan Ding Dong. I love Shyamalan, with the exception probably of The Happening. That's
Is that the one with the wind?
and the
Yeah.
plants and stuff. Actually, I really love. He didn't direct it, but he produced it. Was Devil.
I love that one.
Such a good movie. I think that's like one of his best concepts ever.
And no one wants to watch it with us because it's called, the
The
devil.
Devil. But no, we love Signs. Signs is a great movie.
I also like
we own
Lady in
it.
the Water.
We own it. I like Lady in the Water too. I know there's a lot of people who have issue with it, but I love it. I love The Visit. Split is a masterpiece. Oh my gosh.
Etc.
Split, etc. Yeah, Split is a masterpiece. I mean,
Well,
obviously,
it's not even just that split, like the story is, but the fact
Yeah.
that he was just amazing as all those different people.
yeah, lots of great movies from him. Sixth Sense, obviously, just different things. All right, guys. Well, hey, I'm going to go over to Nerdy in Many Ways, and I am going
What do you
to
give
talk.
the episode tonight?
Yeah. So, Tiffany, what did you get this episode?
I honestly, you're not going to agree with me, but I gave it a 9 out of 10 because I liked that it filled in the gaps from what we've learned all these years in the movies. I liked going back and seeing those memories.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was almost an awakening within her because Agatha was kind of showing her like, I didn't do this. Yeah, you did. See, this is how, this is when, this is. So it kind of brought out a little bit more about her own self, even though
Sure.
she was using it for evil. So I just thought between that, and I think it's just the excitement of where this can go with White Vision, the kids, Agatha. If Mephisto's going to show up, or is he going to go in the, like Isaac said, in the next Doctor Strange 2?
Well, because Doctor Strange is supposed to have a creepier tone to it in Doctor Strange 2.
And Mephisto would be perfect for that.
Yeah.
So
And
I
Nightmare.
loved just all of the tastiness, so I give it a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
One thing that should be funny is if they set it up for that right between Mephisto and ends up being Nightmare.
Isaac, what do you give this episode?
I'd probably say like a 9.5.
Ooh, okay.
I really enjoyed it.
All right.
There wasn't really anything I disliked about it,
Mhm.
but I didn't think it was like a perfect episode. I definitely think that this episode is gonna be looked at like a lot higher after next week.
Mhm.
After like, okay, this is why Agatha went through everything with Wanda and why we got all this stuff was because of what happened in the finale.
Okay.
Yeah, I also love, kind of like I said earlier, I love how they went a little bit deeper into the magic part of
Oh, yeah.
Marvel, because that's gonna, like I said, if it's gonna be Strange and Wanda as the next two main people in the next phase of Marvel, they're gonna have to go deeper into magic.
And they mentioned chaos magic. So
For sure.
is that going to play into the magic that her and Doctor Strange have to use?
Because Doctor Strange doesn't use chaos magic, and Wanda's magic is hex magic.
Yeah, Tiff. Get it together, babe.
Whatever, Mr. DC.
So, for me, I give this episode an 8. I thought it
A
was.
lightsaber out of 10.
What's that?
A lightsaber out of 10.
I give it a lightsaber out of 10. I give it an 8, just because that beginning took a lot away from me. It was really long and drawn out, and I really felt that they should have. I felt like there should have been some.
She was a crazy witch.
I felt like there should have been some breakup in that opening scene, for sure. Is it possible that Agatha's not evil? she does. I mean, in the flashback, she didn't appear to want to be evil, but she just was. So
if your whole sisterhood in Coven is trying to take you down, she turned them into husks of people.
yeah, probably.
Just as we learned from each Avengers movie, the villain never starts off evil.
True.
Or like Ray Porter said, the villain doesn't always see what they're doing as.
Well, but most of the villains in the MCU are just not that good.
You
Honestly.
could make a song. Oh, you're a crazy witch.
Yep.
Because when we do that, I saw it and I was like, I wish that would have happened. It said Thanos should have won. And I saw that. At first, I was like, no, because then we wouldn't have gotten what we got. And then I saw the video. I was like, yeah, I'd like to see that now. I'll have to find it.
Interesting. Lewis Cox says, Enosh, don't watch The Last Airbender. I have not, and I don't plan on it. The M. Night Shyamalan did. It was so mega crap, as J. Jonah Jameson would say. Yeah, that's everybody's told me that's awful. And I'm not.
If you love the TV show, do not watch the movie.
And I've never watched the TV show, so
I've seen bits and pieces.
Yeah. And I'm rewatching it on Netflix.
So, also Lewis says also I have this feeling that Wanda is a mutant in the MCU, and this episode kind of shows that more than a witch than a mutant for right now. But I could hope. Yeah, well, I think that they gotta figure out a way somehow to introduce mutants.
Well, I think it's going to be because she wouldn't have learned all that witch stuff when she was little.
Yep. Yep, she didn't really have anybody to teach her to do it. So
especially if when she was little was around the time of the Cold War.
Yeah,
she wouldn't have.
Radiation.
Yeah, she wouldn't have. She just wouldn't have.
Days Limey says she's a psycho. There you go. That's pretty much it. What's up, Jeff Gladfelty? Good to see you. Great member of the channel. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, buddy. Good to see you here. Hey guys, so I'm gonna head on over to Nerdy's. So join me over at Nerdy Anyways. We're gonna be talking Superman, and we're gonna be talking, what's going on with that. And I'm about a half hour late for that. So love you guys. The Richard gives it an 8.5. I gave it an 8. Tiffany gave it a 9, and Isaac gave it a 9.5. So 8.5, or no, I gave it an 8. 9.5. So we're at about an 8 3/4.
8.7.
Yeah, 8.75 is kind of the yeah, exactly. 187 gives it a 9. So there you go. It was a good episode.
Me and 187 are like this.
Yeah, it was a good episode overall. So hey guys, just remember to stay respectful, treat everybody with kindness, and don't let anybody tell you that your fandom doesn't matter. And don't try to tell somebody that their fandom doesn't matter. But always be good to each other. And if you do that, you'll always have a place here in the Poindexter Lounge. I may try and attempt to do a call-in show later. We'll see. Have a great night, folks, and we will see you later. Stay nerdy.